One of the really wonderful things about having the principles of Equitable Community are that they provide a guide for all of us. You can think about how these principles are played out in our daily lives. You can think about how to use them as examples in your teaching, in your work with other people.
And a lot of these really challenging climate culture issues have, as part of moving forward, learning about each other, learning about ways in which we can complement each other's strengths, we can recognize what other people bring. In the best universities, learning never stops.
Well, we like to think in athletics that we understand in a different way the value of differences. Our teams are stronger when we value what individuals can bring from different backgrounds, different skill sets, different perspectives. And so sometimes I wonder when we learn that lesson so well within our teams, why we can't live that lesson out in the rest of our lives in the same way.
When I think about the principles that we espouse here of our Equitable Community, for me it comes down to just simply treating others as you want to be treated. It's a simple thing to do, it's the right thing to do, and it makes you feel good.
I think the foundation for a healthy community is respect. Respect for self, respect for others. And as educators, we have a responsibility to model that behavior in what we say and what we do. And as members of this community, I think we should expect nothing less.
It's very, very healthy that the perceptions of some members of our community, the fact that they don't feel their voices are being heard, are in fact expressing that and are being heard and are catalyzing a different kind of dialogue on campus. Continuing that dialogue, sustaining it over time, and making the kinds of changes we need to make at this university is critically important.
I think is to get in the mindset that let's look at how can we advance successes that we have achieved, and how can we begin to address some of the challenges.
One of the great things that we can do as senior leadership is be conveners. And it's not just getting all the voluntary people around the table who want to come together and help make Lehigh better. It's bringing some people to the table who, for whom that might be a difficult proposition. They're not naturally inclined to go collaborate with people from a very different background. We as the leadership can be conveners, and I think that going forward we look for the opportunities to broaden that dialogue and make sure we get all the voices in the process.
We've had issues that have occurred on this campus. We sort of have been reacting to them rather than one, anticipate, and two, look at how we can be more progressive.
Advocating for yourself and being able to feel comfortable speaking about what you see, what you feel, what you hear, not only is a positive for you, sort of the realization that your voice matters, but actually it matters to the other people who are listening as well. They need to hear a wide variety of voices. They need to hear not everybody sees the world the same way. They need to hear that, in fact, we do have perhaps some real disagreements. That's not tragic. That's something we need to recognize because that's part of how we move forward.
I think Lehigh has made progress regarding the diversity of its student body and people's understanding of Lehigh's place in the world and how it's important to get an education that reflects an understanding of the world outside of Lehigh, and we're still in that process.
It's important for me to state clearly that I've been at Lehigh is about 26 years, and I watched this transformation of the culture here at Lehigh for the better. We've made progress, but we still have a lot of work ahead of us. It's a great institution, but we could be greater.